You are dressed like this because I'm a Buddhist monk. Ah, Buddhism, okay. Do you know Buddhism? No, I don't, but I know it's very good. Okay, thank you. And also people ask me in a very respectful way, joining the palms, "Sir, where is your monastery?" I said, "In Malaysia." "Oh, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur." Yes, Kuala Lumpur, Sri Lankan Temple." "Oh, very good, very good. Are you a Buddhist?" "No, actually I'm a Catholic, but I've read the life of the Buddha and I respect very much." "Okay, very good, very good." So, considering that Brazilians, we are 190 million in the biggest Catholic country in the world, I could say there is some hope for us. 250,000 out of 190 million. But anyway, it's a light at the end of the tunnel, isn't it? So I think it was very, very good and much better than I could expect. More questions? Any kind of question. If you can ask questions about Wesak, it's better. But any kind of question.
I think I just like to ask a question. The birth, the enlightenment, and the death come from which Buddha? I mean, the Gautama Buddha, is it? But what about the rest of the Buddhas? Do they have the similar kind of birth, enlightenment, and death together?
Well, in fact, the Theravada tradition says there were 28 Buddhas before Shakyamuni Buddha, starting from Dipankara until Shakyamuni Buddha, that is the historical Buddha. I do not think these things are possible, right? I'm sorry if I hurt someone's feeling about that, but I do not believe in 28 Buddhas. As a Westerner, I do not believe in that. It's not possible. And why not possible? 28 Buddhas with at least one kalpa between one and another, between one and the next one. Okay? What is one kalpa? Who knows? Who has ever heard about kalpa? Kalpa is a very ancient time measuring system that makes up millions and millions of billions of years. One kalpa should be the time that the universe destroys itself and is rebuilt, is one kalpa. So could it be possible that our planet has had 28 Buddhas so far, with at least one kalpa between one and another? Mathematically, it doesn't make sense, right? Because the planet is not that old. And it would take the time for the whole universe to be destroyed and rebuilt between one Buddha and another. So how come that 28 Buddhas before Shakyamuni Buddha were born in India? Only in India. This is a very beautiful legend. This is very beautiful as Indian imagination, Indian tradition that was kept until this time. And we celebrate 28 Buddha ceremony and we chant sutras. There's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing wrong about keeping the tradition. But just like many other Buddhist traditions, we should not believe in them as true. We respect them as good opportunities to be together, to chant sutras together, to pay respect to the Buddha together, to renew our strength in Buddhism. All this is very valid, is very good, and I'm not denying the importance of tradition in our Buddhist life. But there is a great difference between respecting tradition and believing in tradition and taking them as serious. Because it's something that science and mathematics and all kinds of things can prove that they are not true. Again, I'm saying that as a Western monk, as my personal opinion. Okay? I'm not saying here the opinion of the Mahasangha as a whole. I'm sure most of my brothers in the Mahasangha do believe in 28 Buddhas, and I respect their opinion. I'm just giving my personal opinion about the subject I was asked about. Right? So, when we consider the Buddha, we consider Shakyamuni Buddha as the historical Buddha, the only one that archaeologists and anthropologists and historians, they all have records about the existence of that Buddha. Even Amitabha Buddha, no one could ever prove the existence. It's impossible to prove. Especially because even in Mahayana tradition, it was said that he became a Buddha 10 kalpas before Shakyamuni Buddha became the Buddha. So I've told you what one kalpa is. Can you imagine 10 kalpas before Shakyamuni came to this world? So how come that Amitabha lived in this world? It's absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible. And when you read Fosuo Amitojin, Amitabha Sutta, you read that it was in this world that he paid respect to another Buddha that was his master, and he was also a king that left his palace. His life story should be very similar to Shakyamuni Buddha. Amitabha's Buddha should be nearly the same. But 10 kalpas before Shakyamuni Buddha, and this is absolutely impossible. So once again, everyone is free to believe in all kinds of traditions, even in Santa Claus, Cinderella, whatever you want to believe. This is none of my business. But historically, mathematically, it's proven that it is impossible. Okay? Any more questions? Yes, brother.
I was asked by a Muslim friend. They were asking me that, what is the significance of this Vesak procession? And what is that? What is significant? So actually, I don't know how to reply that.
It's just beautiful and traditional and important, just like a Christmas tree or whatever a human being creates to express what is inside the mind and the heart. We need these kind of things. We need. I don't know how Muslims manage not to have any image of Allah and any image of Muhammad and things like that. It must be very hard for them. And I very much admire them because of that. Because the Buddha never said, create images of me. The first images of the Buddha were created in Greece. Many hundred years after the Buddha passed away. And we all know that the Greeks were experts in building images and all those gods they had. So it was not difficult for them to invent all kinds of images of the Buddha. But human mind needs this kind of things. So we created this procession and these floats and all these beautiful things, and people dressed in white following the float. This is beautiful. And actually there's nothing wrong about that. Nothing wrong. The Buddha would not say no, would not say yes. But it's okay. I've just taken hundreds of pictures of the float in Sunatho Temple to send to my students in Brazil. So there's nothing wrong about that. but actually there is no meaning. Yes.